Hey everybody. So we're talking about peace, protection, and harmony. And really what we're looking at is a deeper dive in the aspects of Venus. And, I would say Venus is very much kind of misunderstood. We think of it as being about love and relationships, and it is that. But this idea of peace and harmony and the idea of protection, which really is a protection of spirit, is really about like the development and refinement and the protective qualities inherent to the emotional body. And, you know, within that, we're cultivating an aspect that is associated with not losing ourselves in the face of chaos, not going to a place where we get upset, we get irritated, we get hurt, whatever it might be, is to be able to not lose ourselves in that place. And in doing so, we become non-reactive and we start to develop higher aspects of ourselves, a higher level of development of the heart, refinement of the heart, and we begin to experience what you would call the astral body or the astral realm. And in that, that is where we have a sense of peace, a sense of protection and harmony. We have a sense of well-being. Really, like when people are like happy, like genuinely happy, it's not because of the external things going on in their life. It's because they're able to touch this aspect within themselves. And so, in doing so, we're going to be looking at several things. For one, we're going to be looking at vagal tone specific to the cardiovascular system. And this isn't just for physical health, but it is also for um, the retrieval of what some people call like the soul. But really, it's just like fractured pieces of our ego. And when you work both the vagal tone of the cardiovascular system and that fight flight mechanism, like when we get triggered, it actually refines the ego and refines the mental processes. And so when we have our past experiences or our history of negative things happening, negative events, things that have hurt our feelings, or maybe we don't feel good about ourselves, maybe we don't feel good about what's happening in the world, we have like little pieces of ourselves that get fractured off and they affect our behavior and our way of thinking and feeling, but we don't always like access all of them. And they kind of are bumps in the road that we just don't see coming. And we're going to go through and do a process about how to um, deal with that. And then from there, we're going to also be looking at um, the potential of materialization. In all the different classes in the past, we've done materialization processes, which are about materializing light and healing ourselves, healing other people, working closer to materializing our goals. But within that framework, it's always based on what potential we have there. And if we have issues in this area, which we all do to a certain extent, our ability to materialize the light is inhibited. And so, how do we go through and we unwind this? And we're going to be doing a process also for enhancing our ability to materialize, and then any sort of uh, blockages that would be associated with materialization. So, like in a long-winded way, I'm saying you're going to flush out the tendency for disharmony both within you and the things that we create in our environment, be it with people, situations, how we choose things, how we direct ourselves. All of this is tied to the potential of the materialization process. And this aspect we've never really gone into before. We've touched on it, but we're going to go deeper into this. And so this will enhance all the other things that you've been doing in some of the other processes. And so with all the things that we potentially can cover with Venus, we'll go through, we'll do the aspects of Venus, which are about that idea of peace and harmony and love and be able to connect with people and have union with both our higher soul and a deeper connection to the people around us. We'll be developing all of this, but we'll also be looking at a harmony between the aspects of our nervous system. We've been talking about vagal tone and dysregulation, and we work each piece of this. And, it's very common for students that have gone even a little bit into this where they have the experience of the people around them are saying, "What have you been doing? You're acting different. You're calmer. You're not as reactive. You're usually more stressed out or more upset about something, and you're not. What's up?" And there is ways of enhancing this process where we increase the harmony or the communication or flow between these two aspects of our nervous system. So we're going to be delving into that. This will spill over into all the other things we've been doing in other classes. And so I would say not only does this have harmony in all the different ways that we've been talking about, this also has harmony with the other classes we've been doing. I was laughing about that just a little while ago. I was like, it's harmony all over the place. So hopefully you can join us and take part of this class. So take care.